Hi, I'm Jenna, and this is episode 43. Big welcome to any new viewers. There are some new followers in the group as well, and a big thank you for everyone who keeps coming back. I also want to thank, I had 2 packages arrive in the mail this past week with scrapbooking supplies, so I want to thank those people. They private messaged me on Plurk, and I'm assuming since they private messaged me, they don't want me to put their names out there, but you know who you are, and I have thanked you, sent you a thank you message, and I really appreciate it. First off, I'm excited. All of my patterns that are available for sale through me are now available on Craftsy. So I kind of blogged about what Craftsy is yesterday. So if you are not on Ravelry and you're looking for another way to buy my patterns, that is a great alternative. They're the same price and all that. So the only pattern that currently isn't on there of mine that's out in the cyber world is it's called Toy Robot Stuffies, but it's also known as Stanley and Sophie. They're robots, and that is available only through Tangled currently, so when I get the rights back to that, it'll be available on there as well. But you can't buy it on Ravelry either. Nothing's going to change. Everything's still going to stay on Ravelry. Like I said, it's just another alternative. And then, I am now an Amazon affiliate. Yay! So there is a little widget if you go to the website, or if you're watching on the website right now, it's over here to this side. So what you do, I decided I am going to put books that I talk about there, and when you see a book, I'll probably add it to that, and you can click on it, or if you click on the link there, it'll take you to Amazon, even if you're not necessarily buying that item. You can go, and then sales, I get a very tiny percentage of a kickback for that. So, just like I said, I wanted a way to bring to you so you could find directly the books that I talk about here. And, you know, maybe it'll help with, you know, some shipping costs and stuff. And then there's Doodlebug Yarn. I haven't mentioned Doodlebug Yarn, but that is still an ongoing offer. Love the people at Doodlebug. DoodlebugYarn.com. There is a widget for that as well above the Amazon one over here on the website. And just when you go and check out, enter the code RETROLEMON, all one word, RETROLEMON, one word, and you'll save $5 on a $25 or more purchase. So, once again, tiny kickback from that, but I'm thankful. Love Doodlebug Yarn. They have a great selection, super fast shipping, and the last time I got a lollipop in my package. So, moving on, I mentioned last week that we would do a little more Q&A. I try not to spend too much time on it, but there are still unanswered questions, and some of them are really good, and I would like to answer them. So, kind of where we left off before, this is cute. It says, this is not a knitting question. I'm an avid reader, and I'm always interested in what other people like to read. So, what are some of your favorite books you've read? Good question, because I love to read. I would read like a crap ton. Not as much these days as I would like to, because I'm so busy with knitting and designing and podcasting, and it all takes up so much time. But it's worth it. And my all-time favorite book, and I actually went to look for it, but my daughter is reading it for school, and it must be in her book bag or something, because I looked all over her bookshelves in her room, and they're all stacked and crammed, and I couldn't find it. But my all-time, if you had to ask me one favorite book, it's The Giver by Lois Lowry, and it's like a young adult book. I read it in high school, and I love that book. And it's a series. There's 2 sequels. There's Gathering Blue, and I cannot remember the third one. I own the second one, but I've never read them. I've only ever read The Giver, never any of the sequels, but I love that book. I've read it multiple times. The first time's the best, and when you read it, you'll see why. But it's a small paperback book, mass market paperback, inexpensive. I mean, I don't know what happened to my original copy. Somewhere in the moving and all the years since high school, it got lost. So, I bought it through the Scholastic book order when one of my kids brought it home from school, and I think we paid like $3 or $4 for it. And of course, it's available on Amazon and everything. So, not a difficult book to find, and it's a short book. It's a very short, small paperback. You can, if you're a really avid reader, you can probably read it in a day or two. A couple hundred pages, and that's it. I mean, it's well written, I think, and the message in the book is, I don't know, for me, reading it at such a young age, it made a huge impact on me, and I think that's why it's my favorite. But my daughter, who's 13, she read it for the first time 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know if somebody under 10 would really grasp all the concept. I think she read it a long time ago. Well, not that, a few years ago, and now she's reading it now at 13, and I think she definitely gets even more from the book. So while it's definitely below, I don't know, I might have been like a junior in high school, it's definitely kind of below that level. You should be reading much, you know, more difficult things, I think, by that time. I think the message in the book makes a bigger impact to somebody who's a little older than somebody who's younger. So, like I said, love the book. I wish I had it here to show you. My second favorite book, which is definitely an adult book, is not for children. I have like an avalanche of stuff going on here. I read this in high school as well. I think I might have been a sophomore when I first read it, and my book looks sad because I've read it probably a dozen times in my life now, and it is She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. And as you can see, this has gone through quite a bit. My spine's all crazy and it's all peeling, and a lot of it is because I've let people borrow it. My husband's read it. I had this music teacher who made a huge impact on my life, and he was a real mentor to me. I had private lessons, and he borrowed it, and my best friend in high school borrowed it. I mean, the whole bit. So it has been through a lot, and I keep thinking I'm going to buy a hardback cover of it, and I haven't got around to it yet. It's a book that will make you laugh. It's a book that will make you cry. It's depressing in spots. It's this whole emotional journey of this girl, and I think it was so well written, and there's just a lot I can relate to in the book, I guess, and then a lot that makes you realize how lucky you are that you didn't have to go through certain things. And I just love this book. I really, like I said, I think I read it in an impressionable time in my life, and just kind of latched onto it. And Wally Lamb stuff is kind of hit and miss with me. I love this. There's the other book he's written, I Know This Much Is True. I've read that one. It was good. It was a really good book, but the main character is kind of a jerk. Like, you're like, man, what a jerk. And then there's another one, and I cannot remember the name of it. My husband read it first, and then I read it after him. We checked it out from the library. I don't own that one. But it's about a teacher who was a teacher at Columbine and all that, and I just didn't like the book. I could not connect with the characters. It was an overall depressing, gloomy book, as you can imagine, and this poor guy just never gets a break, and I don't know, I read for enjoyment, and there are some books I've read, like The Lovely Bones, I couldn't get through. I didn't enjoy reading it. I won't pick up a book like that again. I was a bit apprehensive to start with, and I won't. But, like I said, those are my 2 all-time favorite books. Currently, I'm reading the Blossom Street series of books by Debbie McComber. They're a light read, let's face it. It's like a summertime read. And I love the characters, and it's an easy read, and I like to read before I go to bed for like at least 15 minutes. And, so I'm on the 3rd book, which is back on Blossom Street. Because, like I said, light read, I don't want to get into anything too heavy right now. So, We'll answer. I think we got enough. Maybe we'll do 2 more. I'm like all flustered for a moment. What would your dream vacation be like? Oh, yeah. If I could have a dream vacation, yeah, I would spend like a month in Italy, eating my way through Italy. I'd probably have to like pack jeans in like 6 different larger sizes, because I would just eat my way through it all. My family's from Italy. When I was younger, we used to have family come over here all the time for a visit, and I was supposed to go visit in high school, and we had a family tragedy, and needless to say, the trip was canceled, and I was always seriously heartbroken. And so that's what I would do. I would go visit some family, eat my way through Italy, and of course I'd want to do it with my husband. You know, go take him with me. You know, we always talk, oh, when the kids grow up, you know, dream vacation, like, you know, total bucket list type goal. We'll see. I don't know. Have I ever been to Maine? No, I haven't, actually. I haven't been up that far on the East Coast, but I would love to. I want to go whale watching. That is like on my bucket list as well. I would love to go whale watching. And like just keep doing it until I finally see a whale, because I know it's like hit or miss. What is your favorite treat while you knit or between knitting? I love tea. I love to sip on hot tea while I knit. I don't really like to eat a whole lot while I knit because, I mean, I don't want dirty fingers. And I like finger foods. I'm a huge fan of the finger foods. Okay, my total guilty pleasure that I can't have anymore. Ho-hos. Yep, Hostess ho-hos. I swear I could have kept Hostess in business with ho-hos if I wouldn't be like 1,000 pounds. Because I do, because they don't get your fingers too dirty and they're little sticks and you take little bites, and I am totally guilty of VKNing and eating ho-hos. Like when I think maybe nobody's looking or like I'm not talking so the focus isn't on me, I'm like sneaking a ho-ho while I VKN. Okay, last one. It says, I love George the Giant Squid and made him for myself. I enjoy the details and wonder. Have you ever been sitting with a book about marine creatures to make him so real? And what inspired you to knit a squid in the first place? That's a great question. Squid are my favorite animals. I love to watch documentaries on squid. It's so funny, my husband's best friend called one day wanting to know, am I watching, I don't know, it was like the Discovery Channel or something, went back when we had cable, because there was a giant squid documentary on, and he wanted to make sure I didn't miss it, and I thought that was totally awesome. I tried to make him as lifelike as I could. I mean, there are limitations with my design style. I mean, he doesn't have a beak. I talked about this in the episode where I showed off George the Giant Squid, and my husband was all getting on me that there was no beak. Because giant squids have beaks between their arms. And he said he was going to glue on felt beaks on all my squid while I was sleeping. So, I mean, it's not totally anatomically correct, but yes, I did try to go and pull pictures up on the internet and try to get the spacing of the arms and the tentacles correct and get it somewhat looking proportionately accurate. I mean, in real life, the tentacles would be way longer than what I made them on George, but let's face it, who really wants to knit tentacles that long? I mean, I wouldn't even want to. So I did try to make him as realistic as I possibly could. Try to do some squid justice to him. Okay. So I am going to talk about my new pattern. I'm so excited. I always like showing off my new pattern. It is going to be released tomorrow. Today is December 5th. So if you're watching this the day that I put it out there to all of you, it will be out tomorrow. So I'm going to show it to you today because it'll be out tomorrow morning. Are you ready? I'm so excited because I'm so in love with it. It's a piggy! See, and it's got a little tail. You're like, I know, I can't help myself sometimes. Make a little piggy noise. Of course, I think of Dawn, be like, squeal like a pig. It's Priscilla, the persnickety pig. I love it. This one is made out of wool of the Andes, and originally when I made the pig, because I kind of like go and I make samples, and I'm really bad about not ripping out. Like, I'll just let it be what it is, and then if I don't like it, I go and I knit another one different. So then I can compare the two and really decide what I like and what I don't. And then and then the misfit toys kind of go to children, either mine or someone else's, because they don't care that they're different from the originals. You know, so they get love no matter where they go. So originally it was a little more round, like a little more like a pig puff or something. So I kind of elongated the body a little, and originally it kind of had rounded feet, but my husband's like, no, you really should do the feet more flat like the snout. And I'm like, really, you think? And he's all like, yeah, I think. And so, and then I was always worried that the ears were too big, but he insists, because he's like I consult him about like almost everything. Is that nuts? So I was like worried that the ears were too long, but he's like, no, because they'll flop over, and pigs' ears are kind of, when you pull them straight, they're kind of long and they flop. I don't know. Anyways, so this one is made out of wool of the Andes in Blossom Heather. I was going to say Heather Blossom. So, it's just really nice. It's pink. It's not too pink. It's got some, like I said, it's a heather, so it's got some white, but it's got some darker pink spots. It's cute. I really like the yarn. Like Piggy. So it is knit from the tail to the snout, and the legs and ears are sewn on. And then there's this piggy. I have 3 little piggies. That just hit me. 3 little pigs. Now I need a big bad wolf, right? This one is a solid pink. I think it's called Pink Rose. It is Cascade 220 Superwash. Piggy, piggy. And then, okay, this next one, like covers little piggy ears. It might be my favorite. Do you want to see it? Because I love color. I love color so much. This is made out of Dancing Dog Dye Works in the colorway Squeal Like a Pig and Raspberry. So in the pattern, there are notes that tell you when to do color changes. So real easy, you just follow the instructions. I mean, and if you want a solid pig, you just don't change colors, you know, when you're knitting him up, knitting her up. It's a girl. It's Priscilla, the persnickety pig. And then I love, because she kind of has like this brown that kind of goes across under here, and it kind of looks like she's smiling. I think this pig has personality. I'm like, it really does make me want to squeal like a pig. I'm so excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. Piggy, piggy, piggy. Seriously, we've had so much fun with these pigs sitting around the house. Here, I'll show you my 3 little pigs. Makes me really want to go make a big bad wolf. And then look, be like, butt shot. Oh, piggies. So, like I said, tomorrow morning, I will release it. I'm thinking like 9 a.m. Eastern. I think that would work. What you think? Okay, I only have one finished object this week. And I finished it. I finished this stupid Mexican wrestling mask. I did. It's the Lucha Libre by, let's see, Kelly Ladwig. And I am not putting this on. No. Be like, I'll do a lot of things for y'all, but I'm not putting it on. I did try it on just to see if it was actually going to fit my husband. And I think it will. I felt a bit claustrophobic in it. I'm like, oh, this thing's all over my face. But it's done. I really pushed through it and knitted on it every chance I got when he wasn't around. Because I just wanted it over with, because it was like the face mask of doom. I did not enjoy it. And I'm like, color work. Out of all the things he could want, it has to have color work. I hate carrying yarn and all that. But it's done. It's done. He better love it forever. And he better not lose it, because I will not make him another one. I draw the line there. Okay. Then I had like cast-on-itis or something this week, because I wanted to cast on all the things. So the other two pigs were done. So this pig I was waiting. This is a finished object too. So this I was waiting on the yarn, because when I had seen the yarn came first. And then I was like, oh my goodness, I have this silly little pig puff looking thing over here, and it really like would be super cute. So that's kind of a finished object for this week too. Is this Priscilla, the persnickety pig. And it's also part of my a runaway pig. It's also part of my Yarny goodness, but I won't show it later since I'm showing it to you now, because I don't have the extra leftovers. So some Dancing Dog Dye Works came my way. Then I cast it on this bag. And my Girl Cave bag is a pair of good old plain vanilla socks. So this is my own pattern. It's not a pattern you can go and get. And these look so small because they're for my grandma for Christmas, and she's got small feet. Just got itty bitty little feet compared to my great big feet. So I always do my socks a little bit at a time. So I got the one cuff and leg done, and I'm a little over halfway done with this one. And of course I had to make sure that my stripes lined up, because even my grandma deserves stripe lined up matching socks. And this yarn is it's what, Premier Yarns Deborah Norville collection. Although I kind of squawked about Deborah Norville a few months back, and I don't take it back either. In the Serenity sock weight, it is 50% superwash merino, 25% rayon made from bamboo, and 25% nylon. In the surf colorway, because unlike me, my grandma loves blues. So I thought that would be perfect for her. Now I just gotta try to get them done by Christmas. The next item I cast on, and I had to frog I frogged it once. I wasn't that far into it, but I kind of was. I frogged it once, I swatched, had to frog that, and I'm just frustrated, honestly. So, let me show you the picture. It is out of the Knit Simple Winter 2011. So this was like from a year ago. Trying to find the picture so you can see what it's gonna hopefully look like. Here it is. It is the lion pillow. That is supposed to be for Christmas for one of my boys. Yeah, let's just say I'm not having fun with this. So I had to cast on like a bazillion and a half stitches, it seems like. And, okay, I had it like up to here. I had like a good probably 4 inches at least. And then I'm like, oh, I better check my gauge. I didn't do a gauge swatch. I'm thinking it's a pillow, which should be kind of like a toy. Gauge shouldn't really matter. Well, this it does. And my stitches were way too tight, which in my opinion they weren't tight enough to be stuffed. But you're technically not stuffing it with just stuffing. So I bought this online at Joann's because Joann's had a free shipping coupon, no minimum order, and it was half off. So I didn't even have to leave my house to go get it. And it is a soft and crafty 12 by 16 inch pillow. This is what's supposed to go inside the lion. You're not supposed to just stuff it. You're supposed to just put the pillow in it and then stitch it on over it. So, like I said, I don't have a Joann's overly close to me. So, it was much better. I didn't have to pay for gas to go buy it. And got what I needed. Came in the mail. No problems. I've never had any problems with getting stuff from Joann's. The shipping isn't always the fastest, but it works. I'm knitting it out of Vanna's Choice in the mustard colorway. This is the yarn suggested in the pattern. Same color. I just went with it. I'm like, it's Vanna's. It's definitely one of the better acrylics in my opinion on the market. And it's soft. I still don't like necessarily working with it because I've been so pampered with wool. But it's not too bad. It just feels like it's taking forever. And I don't have a lot of time to work on it. And I have to hurry up because once the kids are on break for Christmas, I'll never have time to work on it. Next up, I started my crossword at the coffee shop by Carrie Steinmetz, which we are doing in memory of Carrie, who was Knit Pearl Girl of the Knit Pearl Girl podcast. It was her design, and so it's nice to know that when you buy it, the money will go to the family. I didn't have this pattern until the Knit Along was announced that we should do this. So I went and bought it. I've done the first repeat on the lace section. Ah! I'm not used to doing lace in an Aran weight. So it looks like that. It's supposed to look like the, you know, little crossword boxes and stuff. So I am making the shawl size, not the shawlette, because I'm just not a fan of shawlettes. So, I mean, I used a 30, I think it's a 32 inch needle, or 34. It's in the 30s, and it's the Knit Picks options. And the yarn is gorgeous. I saw this, and I had to have it, because it immediately reminded me of Carrie. Carrie loved yellow, and then the last few episodes that she recorded, I believe it was her living room, was the room she was in, and it is a nice bright, like, sunflowery yellow, which is gorgeous. I remember first seeing the room going, ooh, because I'm slightly obsessed with yellow. Even before all this, I've totally been into yellow in a huge way. So the yarn is from the Unwind Yarn Company. It is Voyage Aran. It's 100% British BFL. There's 183 yards per skein, and I bought 2 skeins because one I'm pretty sure was not going to be enough, especially to do the shawl size. And like I said, I don't want to do the shawlette. The colorway is called Sunshine. And Dana at Unwind had offered a coupon code for 15% off to do this shawl with this yarn. And I went ahead and took advantage of that. I jumped on it as soon as I saw her post it. And I'm glad I did, because she posted that there was going to be, this was a Tuesday, she posted that there was going to be an update 2 days later on Thursday. And I went back and looked at the sold stuff, because of course it all sold out. And there was nothing I saw that I liked better than this yellow. So I'm glad I bought it when I did, because when she did the shop update, she didn't add any more yellow. So to show you unwind in the sunshine. So gorgeous. In my knitting's my bag. I love these little birds. They make me happy. Okay, and then last but certainly not least, in my other Girl Cave bag is my, ooh, I dropped something. Oh, I think it was my little crochet hook. Which is the front? That's the front. My 2012 Advent Calendar scarf. Oh, hiccup. Sorry. So it is real lacy and light. And I don't know if you can see, but there are little beads in the spacer section. Ah! Okay, so they're in this row here. But I had bought the beads for my Even Star, and I'm nowhere close to the beads. So I thought, well, I can just borrow some of the beads for that. I think I overbought by a little anyways, so it'd be fine. Because it's such a light, like frothy yellow. I love it. And so they're crystal clear beads. And they're called Crystal Clear AB beads. And someone had PM'd me one time when I had mentioned before and told me that the AB stands for Aurora Borealis. So they're crystal clear beads, but they have like this sheen on them that kind of catches the light. And really, if it's against something else, picks up that color. So it gives it just a little bit of extra shine. Because I just wanted a little bit of subtle sparkle. Because I was kind of looking at beads online, and the yellow were just too yellow. They were too gold, yellow looking for what I wanted. I just wanted something that when the light hit it just right, it just gave it a little bit of sparkle. So I've used the Crystal Clear AB beads for like everything because, like I said, it's just so subtle. And that's what I like. I like subtle sparkly, not like in your face sparkly. The yarn is made out of, here, I better get the tag. It is, did the tag fall out? It did. It is Highland Handmaid's Pin Cherry Lace Yarn in the back 40 colorway. And there is 1,100 yards in this skein. It is 80% fine merino and 20% silk. And I have to give a huge shout out to Heather of Highland Handmaids because I had flirted her. It's like, I'm looking for some lace yarn. I'm like, Boutros babe, is there any way I can twist your arm to dye me some lace weight yarn and have it to me by the end of the month? Which was November. And I'm like, yeah, she's totally going to shoot me down because that's like a tight, I mean, normally you need to give people like a month, at least. And she was like, I think I can do that. And I was like, yes, because, okay, when I was, normally these patterns come out, this is the third one, and it says fingering weight yarn. So I had fingering weight yarn in a bright red, and then I bought a new coat, and it is like this avocado-y green. It's gorgeous. It is so stinking gorgeous. And I'm like, well, the red would really make me look kind of elfish. This green pea coat and this bright red scarf. And I'm like, oh, God, I can't do that to myself. And I've been on a yellow kick, like, big time. So she's like, well, what did you have in mind? And I'm like, well, I kind of wanted, like, a light to medium yellow, kind of a buttery color. And she's like, oh, I actually just ordered the wrong yellow, so I have some dye that would be perfect for that. And I'm like, yes. Because when I was thinking of lace, I first looked at Knit Picks, because Knit Picks has cheap lace yarn that I feel is a good quality. They didn't have anything I wanted. All of their colors, in my opinion, were just too dark. I don't want something that dark. I like color. I like bright color. But I didn't want something like in-your-face color. So then when Knit Picks didn't have what I wanted, I started thinking, who does lace and does it well? I immediately thought of Highland Handmaids. then I'm like, who might do a color that I actually, you know, that I want? And I'm like, maybe Highland Handmaids. So, I was really excited because Highland Handmaids was my first choice for this, and she nailed it. Heather absolutely just nailed the exact color I had in mind. Like, dead on. So, like I said, a super huge thank you, Heather, for making my lacy dreams come true. Today is December 5th. I am done with day 5, so I am on track. And I went ahead and did the spacer for tomorrow, all but the last row, because I don't know if there will be increasing or decreasing. So I am on track. Feel like 5 days down, like 20 more to go. Yay. I can't remember, is there 24 or 25 days on an Advent? I think there's 25. I don't think there's just 24. Pretty sure it's 25. So yeah, 20 more days to go. It is time consuming. I'm really kind of nervous about getting all my Christmas knitting done and that. But that's kind of important to me. Like, even my husband's like, wow, that's gorgeous. And like, he hasn't really said anything because I've been knitting on it like crazy. And I'm just like, nobody makes me hand knits at Christmas. You know, nobody I, you know, really know knits a whole lot that I get like lots of gifts from or anything. So I'm like, this is kind of like my Christmas gift to myself, is to knit myself something absolutely beautiful, because I don't get hand knits. I'm like, normally the only time I really get hand knits is like when I do swaps, and I haven't done a swap in a while because I just haven't had the time. So, okay, moving on to Yarny goodness. Besides the Dancing Dog Dye Works yarn and Squeal Like a Pig that I got, I also got sock yarn. Christmas sock yarn. I'm so in love with this. I had gotten this last year in the worsted weight. I have no desire to make worsted weight socks because I like thinner socks. It is Holly Jolly with a lime mini for your toes and heels. So I would love to be like, yes, I'm gonna get myself some Christmas socks done. It's not happening. I mean, I have my Grinch socks that I finished earlier this year that I can finally wear this year. But it is definitely will be on my feet next year. I'll knit it probably sometime over this winter. But I love these colors so very much. Like, I'm not really a big pink person, but I like pink and green together. So this has pink, lime green, aqua, and red. And I think there's actually 2 shades of pink. There's a really light soft pink and like a raspberry pink. And there's also a regular green. So there's lime green, regular green. It just, the different shades of greens and pinks and stuff really give it some depth. So there was a pre-order for this, and you could choose either a lime green mini skein or a red. I went with green because I love the lime green. Like this is happiness in a little squishy skein. Then, you know what? I was gonna do a book review. Shoot. And I forgot the book. That's alright. Maybe next time. Like, maybe this won't be an overly long episode. It wasn't a new book or anything like that. It was a book that I had for a while that someone had kind of asked me about. Okay, on to fiber goodness, because I have no spinning. Like, sad face. I have nothing on the bobbin because I've been so busy with samples, and then when you design a pattern, I do all my own photography and editing, and I do all my own PDFs and type everything up. I mean, one woman show here, I do it all. So there has been no time, but I'm hoping to find some time to spin this week. Fingers crossed. First up, I love this. When I got my Highland Handmaids lace yarn, it was a custom order. So then Heather of Highland Handmaids was having a Small Business Saturday sale, and she put my yarn up then. So I got my Highland Handmaid's custom dyed lace yarn 20% off. I was floored because Heather didn't have to do that. It was a custom order. I would have been more than happy to pay full price. But, like, a huge thank you, because I really appreciate that. I mean, really, super awesome. So, when she had the small business update, the first thing I went for, because I thought, okay, my yarn is reserved. There was, like, a special listing for me. No one was allowed to buy it. So, I didn't worry about that first. But when I went and saw the shop preview, I sold this. I love this so much. Like, you can't even... I know there's blue in it, and I have this whole I hate blue thing. But, okay, you see, there's like these burgundy spots and these bright pops of orange. It reminds me of goldfish in a bowl. I have this obsession with colorways that look like goldfish in a bowl. Like, I totally have like this dream like colorway that would look like goldfish in a bowl to me. But that's what this reminded me of. But it is called FTW, which stands for the win. Be like, it was mine, for the win. And I love it. I just really love this so much. And it is the Pitch Pine top. It is 40% superwash merino, 40% merino, and 20% silk. Translation: this will probably be slippery and spin thin. So, I need to get my spinning mojo back. I would like to spin this right after Christmas, when I have time to sit down and try to spin it evenly and thinly, and spin it how it deserves to be spun. Because I just love this so, so much. And it is so soft. I actually had this, like, sitting right in front of my computer monitor, just, like, fondling it every so often. Hopefully I didn't felt it or anything. Next up, I got a loop. I got a loop. It feels like so long since I've got a loop. I mean, I got the Spontaneous Spinning Cloud, but loop bumps are just like happiness in little rolls. So, Steph of Loop is having a spin along. I think it is like December, January, February. It's 3 months. You can go to the Loop website, which I have a link for in the show notes. And there are 3 different colorways. This one's called Autumn Lake. So, oh, hiccup again. It has a rusty red to an olivey green, or it's not rusty red, it's rusty orange. Duh. Rusty orange to an olivey green to a real pretty, like, lakey blue. It is. I think that's gorgeous. So, I got mine without sparkle, but there is still a little bit of sparkle in it because of the way the colorway is. It has like little, what is it? What are they called? Nips. It is merino, tencel, bamboo, tussa silk, wool nips, and aluminum. And it is just so soft. And look, I love loop because you just pull it out. It's like already pre-drafted, and it's awesome. I love it. I'm so excited to have loop bump because I've had to be a good girl and stay away for a little bit till I can get some of my loop bumps spun down a little. So there are 2 other colorways to pick from. One goes from like a raspberry color to black, and the other one goes from like an aqua to black. So you can pick one of 3 bumps, and they have a coordinating one. Now I kind of wanted a coordinating one for this one, but I really couldn't afford it at the time because it's the holidays, and I feel so guilty spending stuff on me. And the coordinating one for this one was like stripes. It would go like orange, green, blue, like quite repetitive, and not just these 3 in long colorways, but it was over and over. If you check out the Loop website, you can see. I just wasn't a big fan of it that way. I like the way the other coordinates were done. But But like I said, it just, you know, I could only really afford one right now, so it was good that it wasn't really my thing, because I probably would have had to have picked. And then, of course, because Steph is just super awesome. I adore her. She is so nice. I don't know how she packs all this into this tiny little baggie. I got a little baby spontaneous spinning cloud called Up, Up, and Away. And I'm dropping my cloud. My cloud's floating away. Hey, kitty, kitty. My kitty's here. If you VKN with me, you've seen my kitty. Oh, hello, kitty. Of course I have an orange kitty. You'd expect me to have a kitty of any other color? So, he was sleeping, and then he got up and decided he didn't want to sleep anymore. Now he's like, let me down. So, that's the kitty. And then, last but not least, I got my club bump from Greenwood Fiberworks. So, if you haven't got the club, which I think you should have by now, because I got it like Thursday of last week, you can look away, like now. This is Harlequin. It is gorgeous. It is like teals, pops of lime green, raspberry pinks, some darker greens, and it looks like when the pink and the green kind of run together, kind of gives it an orangey look. And this is 100% merino. So she kind of did kind of like Into the World, where you had your basic club and like a luxury club. And I just went for the basic. I like just good old merino. I think it's merino, Polworth, and BFL are the three that you'll get over the 3 months. So I love this. This will probably go on my wheel before the loop bump, only because they do a spin along in the Greenwood Fiberworks group, and you can win prizes. So you spin along, show a picture of your spun yarn, and then it's judged or something, and you can win. I won during the last club. I got a free bump of fiber, so if yours is chosen first place, you get to go to the Greenwood Fiberworks Etsy shop, and there will be a link in the show notes as well. And I got to pick out a free bump of fiber, which is super awesome. So, love it. This is, besides Into the World, my favorite fiber supplier, besides Loop. But Loop doesn't compare to this to me. To me, Loop's all its own. If you know what I mean. If you've ever spun a Loop, Loop stands alone in its awesomeness. You just can't compare anything else to a Loop. But I love this club. I'm glad I was able to get into it again. So, so worth it. And I look forward to January's, or, well, I'll get to the shipment this month for January's spin-on. So that's it for me this week. That's all I have. So I will be trying to keep up on my advent calendar scarf. Hopefully, fingers crossed that I can do it. Because last year, I think I stalled out around day 15. Give or take a day, possibly. So I know I got more than halfway. Halfway would be day 13. So yeah, somewhere between day 14 to 16 I stalled out. But finished it. I did finish it before this one got casted on. Like I said, I'd really like to have something pretty for myself. And I'm kind of nervous just because I'm starting to feel that anxiety and kind of the overwhelmed Christmas knitting type thing. I'm kind of freaking. Just a little. So, hopefully all of you have a wonderful week. I hope you like the Persnickety Pig as much as I do and look forward to seeing her become available tomorrow. And until next week, I will see you then. Oh, wait, back up. I am Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon. I am Retro Lemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest. My patterns are now available on Craftsy. Don't forget about the Amazon and link and the Doodlebug Yarns link. And until next week, I will see you then. Bye.